Hey guys, Two-Time Marine here with another video. Today I am doing another Semper Sundays. This week I'm pushing back the Guadalcanal 1. What is this? Oh, cool. Because I felt that since this is the opening weekend of Lone Survivor, that I should talk about Lone Survivor and Operation Red Wings, which is the name of the operation that those SEALs were on. I'll do this kind of as my, because I've seen the movie and I've read the book, and so I'll kind of do this as my review on those two, and then just overall the story itself, the operation. The movie was good. I mean, they changed some things from the book, which is going to happen pretty much, you know, anytime you try to adapt a book or adapt a movie from a book. So that's fine, but overall I think they did a very good job. They did a great job honoring those guys. It was very clear that Luttrell thought the world of all three of his teammates that went down. I did like how in the movie they have Luttrell in it in a couple scenes, which was pretty badass. It's good to see him, you know, doing well. You could tell that he's still struggling with that whole situation, even, 8 years later. But, you know, that's going to happen. There's no way around it. That sort of situation and everything that he saw and went through, it'll be with them forever. And that's just something you guys need to be aware of when you join. I mean, and hopefully none of you guys ever get into that sort of situation, but those sort of situations can happen, especially if you do go into a combat MOS like that, or you do like Special Forces, SEALs, you know, even some of the MARSOC guys in the Marine Corps, pretty much any branch. If you do Special Forces, you're going to run into times where things are getting a little hairy. So just be aware of that, and just know that can happen. But, you know, like he said, not in the movie, but he said in some interviews, you know, you do what you got to do. It's for your brothers, it's for your teammates, for the guys that you love more than you love yourself. And I think the movie did a good job kind of showcasing that. For the book itself, you really should read if you haven't read it. There's a lot more detail. They go into he goes into a lot of detail at the beginning of BUDS, of what it is that their initial training is, how much it sucks, how much, you know, you fucking hate it, but you just do it because you want to be a SEAL. You know, you want to succeed. And there's a lot of guys that quit. It's a very, very tough training, and guys realize that they don't want it as bad as they thought they wanted it. So yeah, definitely read the book if you can. The operation itself, looking back, there were some things about it that were not, I think, fully planned out. I mean, they put him in, you know, SEALs aren't afraid to go into any sort of terrain, any sort of situation, but the team in the book made it very clear that they were not pleased with where they were being dropped in. They knew that there wasn't going to be a ton of cover. There's going to be all this rock and like that shale, whatever they called it. That just makes it shitty to maneuver, and definitely very difficult to get cover. And here's some other things. I mean, they didn't really have a solid QRF plan, especially with comms being down. It was just not the best situation overall, but, you know, it is what it is. Those guys fucking went through some shit. Matt Axelson was, when he died, he had been shot 5 times, once in the head, once in the neck, and then 3 other places. I'm not sure where offhand, but he, even with that, even bleeding out horribly, he was still fighting. He was still kicking ass, providing cover for Murphy and for Luttrell because at this point Danny had died, and he was a tough bastard. There's no way around it. There's very few people in the world, I would say, that would fucking have the balls and the strength to be able to continue fighting after such, horrible injuries. And he did. He fought because he knew his guys needed the fire, and he didn't let a few gunshots stop that. Murphy, his call was that he made the action that got him the Medal of Honor was absolutely deserving of the Medal of Honor. He literally, more or less how the movie portrayed it, ran out into the open to a very, very exposed position, knowing that he was not going to live through it. And he ran out there to make it to where his sat phone could get service, so that he could get help for his guys. And that's huge. It's fucking insane. He gave everything for those guys. And I mean, the book does a lot better job kind of filling in the emotion that went along with that situation. And I think they did a great job of showing that. But I think the book, is better in regards to that, because you can just explain things a bit more. And so yeah, it was good. Luttrell, after the rest of his team was killed, he ended up going with his broken leg, with his shot up leg. He ended up crawling 7 miles across that shitty ass terrain to when he was found by that friendly village by the guy Muhammad Gulab, I believe is how you pronounce his name. And that Muhammad guy that saved him has some of the biggest balls in the fucking world. That dude is awesome, and Luttrell actually flies him back to the States every couple of years, so they can hang out and spend some time together. But like the book says, and the movie shows, he took in Luttrell knowing full well that the Taliban was going to fucking take it out on him and take it out on the village. And what is the name of that ancient law? It's like Push Tunwali, something like that. And I'm probably mispronouncing it, but that's more or less what it's called. And it essentially means that the village protects an individual with their lives, regardless of who comes, who wants them. They will do anything and everything to protect them. And that's what they did. And they protected Luttrell, and they kept him alive, even with the Taliban threatening him. And that takes some major balls, because the Taliban are very, very ruthless individuals. And they knew to get on the bad side of the Taliban was not a healthy thing. But they didn't let that stop them, because that is their law, and that's something they believe in, and that's something that they follow through on. And so to see that was cool. And if it weren't for that law, Luttrell would be dead. He wouldn't be here, and nobody would know what happened up in those mountains. And so you should definitely be thankful for that old law, because it saved him. Overall, I thought the movie and everything was great. If you have not seen it yet, you really need to. You absolutely need to. It's fantastic. It really is. Absolutely fantastic. Yeah, I'm not sure what else to say. I mean, those guys were absolute beasts. They, where'd he go? Oh, he's logged off. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say. The movie did a good job honoring them. It listed, at the end of it, lists all the guys that were killed, because the once Murphy made that call back to the base to say, hey, we need help, shit's going downhill, they sent out the QRF to them, but they didn't have the gunship support like they would have wanted. So it was literally just the Chinooks dropping in the teams, and then one of the Chinooks ends up getting taken out by an RPG, which goes, just like the movie showed, right through the back of the bird and up to the front of it, and just exploded and tore the bird in half. And it killed all the guys on board. There was, I believe, 15 guys on there total. There's a bunch of Night Stalkers, which is some of the Army's fucking ass kickers. Those guys are good shit. And then it had a bunch of SEALs as well. And so at the end of the movie, they list all those guys. They list the pilots. They list everybody. And I think it's absolutely awesome that they did that. And I was expecting them to, but just to see all those guys and then, seeing their... because they showed them like in uniform for almost all of them. They showed them in uniform at work doing their thing, and then also showed them with their family, with their kids, with their wives, whatever it is. They showed it, and that definitely makes it hit home a little more, I think. And those guys are warriors, no doubt about it. So if you guys haven't seen it, if you have not seen Lone Survivor, you need to. It's good. It's excellent. Yeah. If you guys have any questions, any comments, anything you want to talk about, by all means, be respectful. If I will not tolerate people being disrespectful to those guys or to just our warriors in general. So if you're going to be disrespectful, then fuck you and you can go away. I don't want to hear it. So yeah. All right, guys. As always, I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Semper Fi.